Hi viewers, I am pleased to meet you again through this video. Hope you are all doing well with good health, and by the grace of God everything is going on well with you. Well, in this video I am going to help you to understand present continuous tense. If you have been watching my videos continuously, I have started helping you to understand tenses, and yesterday we discussed about simple present tense. Now remember, I am helping you to understand the uses of these 12 tenses. Okay, when can we use these sentences? What are different occasions these tenses can be used? So after knowing the usages of these tenses, I will come back to the different formulas that we write in order to understand the different auxiliary verbs that are used to refer to different tenses. For example, be using be verbs, perfect form of the verbs, do verbs, all those things are there. But for the time being, just listen to me and be attentive and be thorough. When are we going to use these tenses? For example, yesterday when I was discussing with you, or in the previous video when I was discussing with you about simple present tense, what did I tell you? Simple present tense can be used in 4 different occasions. That is used to refer to habitual actions. That is used to refer to the truths that are unchanging or universal truth. And it is used to refer to proverbs. And it can also be used to refer to future actions. So those are the 4 uses. And we were concerned only with the verb 1 and verb vs. So those are the 2 important factors that we discussed with when we were discussing about the simple present tense. Now today I am going to discuss with you present continuous tense, simple present continuous tense, because I thought we complete the classifications, we complete the various tenses having the present form in it. So present tense, present continuous, present perfect continuous. So we will complete this unit and then we move on to the past and then to the future. Okay, so today I have planned to discuss with you present continuous tenses. Okay, present continuous tense. Alright, I said present continuous tenses. I meant that there are 2 more to come in this order. So that's why I said present continuous tenses. Now to start with, let me help you to understand present continuous tense first of all. Now to understand present continuous tense, you must understand the different forms of the verb. And whenever you hear the word continuous, remember, whenever you hear the word continuous, you must immediately remember that you are supposed to add ing to the main verb. See, ing. You must add ing to the main verb. That is a must. And depending upon your auxiliary verbs or subject, you may have the different verbs, be verbs. We can use them. But for the time being, Let us concentrate only on the usages of this particular tense. So when are we supposed to use this present continuous tense? Now let me write one or two examples on the whiteboard there, and we will discuss what are different occasions that we can use this simple present tense. Okay? Now, so let me write a sentence now. Now what am I doing actually? What am I doing to you now? I am teaching you English grammar. See? I am teaching you, okay, so let's say tenses. I am teaching you tenses. And what are you doing? You are listening to me, or you are watching me. You are listening to me, you are watching me, teaching, you are watching me, you are listening to me. See? Now look at these sentences. I am teaching you tenses, you are watching me, and you are listening to me. Now first, let us identify the tense. Now what is the tense that we are using here? The tense is nothing but, see, in the first sentence we have the verb tense. See? And in the second sentence we have the verb watch. And in the third sentence we have the verb listen. Now what have we done with? We have added ing to all the main verbs there. That's why I said at the beginning, whenever you hear the word continuous, you must add the suffix ing to the root verb. Now look at these verbs here. Before these root verbs, you have auxiliary verbs. All these are called P verbs there. Now here you have the verb called am. Here you have the verb called are. And here also you have the verb called are. Okay? Of course you cannot use you am or you am. So I am teaching you tenses, you are watching me, and you are listening to me. All these sentences, what do they refer to actually? As I told you, don't confuse yourself with the auxiliary verb and the main verb and ing and all that. For the time being, just remember that we are adding ing to the main verb. Now we are learning about what are different occasions that we can use this present continuous tense. Okay, now let us come back. By reading these sentences, what comes to our mind? Tell me. I am teaching you, you are watching, or you are listening. In other words, this means to say that it is a reference to express an action that is happening at the time of reference. See, it is an indication to show or to refer to an action that is happening at the time of reference. So what am I doing now at the time of reference? I am just helping you to understand present continuous tense. So I am teaching you tenses. And what are you doing? You are listening to me, you are watching me. And this is as simple as that. So present continuous tense is, in its first use, it is used to describe an action that is happening at the time of reference. Shall I write the first rule here? Are you clear? So make sure that whenever you want to refer to an action that is happening at the time of reference, which means that when you are doing something, and you must use only present continuous tense. You must use only present continuous tense. Okay, so let me write the first rule there. So the first rule we come up with, like what we did for the simple present tense. So I am just writing here the first rule for present continuous tense. So what is that? It is used, see, it is used to describe an action, or you may say it refers to an action, to describe an action that is happening. See, that is happening at the time of reference. At the time of reference. See? So this is the first use we can think of. So try to remember that whenever you want to refer to an action, when you are doing something, you must use only present continuous tense. Present continuous tense. Now let me write another example here. Let me write another example here. You are studying, say for example 10th or 11th or 12th or 9th, whatever may be. So you are studying. Now, see, you are studying 10th now, you are studying 11th now, you are studying 12th now, or you are studying 9th now. Now what do you mean when I write a sentence like this? You are studying 10th, 11th, 10th, 11th, 12th and all that, whatever the classes that you are in. Or you may say, if you are not a student, you may say you are studying college, or you are learning grammar. Whatever the way that fits you, you can change your verb there. Now look at the verb here. What is the verb here? You are studying different classes. What is the understanding? What is the concept of the sentence that is telling you? When did you begin to study? Maybe from your LKG, or maybe from your first standard. So now you may be studying either 10th or 11th or 12th or 9th, or working somewhere, learning grammar somewhere. So you have already began the work. What? Already began. So you have begun. You have begun the work of another action, or the action of studying, which means from LKG or first standard. So you have begun an action at a particular time in the past, and it is now still continuing, and still you are studying. Still you are studying. Still you are studying. You get what I mean? Get me very clearly. The action that you have begun in the past is studying. Maybe you may have, your parents may have enrolled you in different schools. So that is the action that you began. Maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago, or 7 years ago, 9 years ago, and you began the process of study. And you have begun to study. And still you are studying, which means that you have not stopped studying, still the action is going on, the action of studying is going on. And what does it mean? Can we arrive at a conclusion of writing a rule here for using another technical term for us to use the simple present or present continuous tense here? It is nothing but, listen to me very carefully, present continuous tense is used to describe an action that has begun but still continuing. It is on the process of happening until the time of reference. See? Present continuous tense is used to describe an action that has begun and still is continuing at the time of reference. Okay? What is the tense that I am using here? It is present continuous tense only. Are studying. It's not, I did not use simple present tense or something else. Are studying is continuous tense. Your main verb is study. Study. See? Maybe another sentence you can think of. Another sentence. People are working. People are working for 8 hours. 8 hours. Say every day. Every day. That is a usual thing that you can arrive at. People are working. Present continuous tense. So, people have started working, they have begun their work, and still the work is going on till the time of reference. And your tense is present continuous tense. So, can we write the second usage of the present continuous tense? Good. See, so what can we arrive at now? What can we arrive at now? See? Good. See? So what can we write there? It is used to describe. It is used to describe an action that has begun. See, that has begun, but continuing until the time of, you don't have to say until, till the time of reference. Continuing at the time of reference. See? Continuing at the time of reference. You get what I mean now? See? An action has begun already and it is still continuing. So that is the second usage we can think of whenever you want to refer to an action that has begun in the past and still you are at it. You must use only present continuous tense. You must use only present continuous tense. Okay? You must use only present continuous tense. That is the second usage that we can think of when we talk about present continuous tense. Let me write another example here. See? We are leaving for Chennai. We are leaving for Chennai at 9 p.m. See, for example, 9 p.m. My daddy is arriving. He is arriving at the airport. Not at the airport, you say he is arriving. He is arriving at 5 p.m. See, for example. See? Now, whenever I write the time here, you must not confuse yourself. I just want you to pay attention to the different timings that we use, these tense, present continuous tense. Now, what are your verb here? Are leaving, is arriving. Tense is present continuous tense. Tense is present continuous tense. But look at the action. Look at the action. Maybe when you are at home, if you are referring to these examples, you may be confused, but you should not confuse yourself with regard to the timing here. For example, if I read the sentence or if I write the sentence in the morning about 10 o'clock, remember that I am saying, okay, we are leaving for Chennai at 9 p.m. What time am I saying that? In the morning at 10 o'clock. So, I have the right to say, we are leaving for Chennai at 9 p.m. So, be ready, get ready, be alert. Similarly, 5 p.m. I have written here. My daddy is arriving at 5 p.m. Maybe you may have had a call and you want to convey this to your friends or somebody. My daddy is arriving from Mumbai at 5 p.m. See? Action is in the future, but the tense is present continuous tense. What can we conclude here? What can we conclude here? Can you think of a conclusion or a rule here that we can frame to write? So, the present continuous tense is used to describe an action that will happen in the future. That will happen in the future. You remember when we discussed about simple present tense, and this was one of the rules for that tense also. So similarly, for present continuous tense, future action can be mentioned in present continuous tense. So this is the beauty of English language. See, we can use the verb in different tenses depending upon the circumstances and the usages for various occasions, various timings. As we said, time tense is nothing but time, refers to time, but we need to use it appropriately at the appropriate places, provided the meaning is understood or the message is delivered correctly. The message is delivered correctly. So what is the third rule that we can frame by looking at this example? Present continuous tense is used to describe action or describe an action that will happen in the future. That is the third rule that we can come out. So let me write the example. Let me erase the example and then write the rule here. See? So it is used to describe. It is used to describe an action that will happen in the future. Of course, you see here only the rules and regulations, but so if you want to be thorough with these rules and regulations with the examples, you must go and watch my video again. Then only you will understand how can this happen. Because sometimes when you try to understand, read only the rules for usage of different tenses here, you will be confused to remember how can this happen, how can we use present continuous tense in future actions, to refer to future actions, forgetting that the usages of a tense of particular verb. Always remember, after confirming the usages of the verbs in sentences, we should decide what tense is that. What tense is that? So as far as present continuous tense is concerned, depending upon the subject, for example, if your subject is I, and immediately your verb is going to be am. I am going, I am coming, I am leaving, I am shouting, I am dancing. All present continuous tense. When it comes to first person plural subject, we, what is your auxiliary verb there? Are. So we are leaving, we are enjoying, we are shouting, we are dancing, we are learning, we are singing. See, are singing. Similarly, with the second person, singular and plural, you are singing. But when it comes to third person singular, he, she, it, what is the article verb that you're supposed to use? Is. He is singing, she is shouting, it is yelling. Remember? So, that is the difference that we should make out. So, we will come back to that, those kind of rules and regulations when we refer to active voice and passive voice after listening to different usages of different tenses. So, as far as present continuous tense is concerned, remember that this present continuous tense can be used in 3 different occasions. One is to refer to actions that is happening at the time of reference. Now, remember I have used everything in singular. It is used to describe an action. Not only one action, it can be plural also. It is used to describe actions that are happening at the time of reference. So that it must be very clear. So don't try to restrict, narrow your understanding only to the singular part of it. Similarly here, it is used to describe actions that had begun or that have begun. Possible. Here also similarly, it is used to describe actions that will happen in the future. So always singular plural is possible. Okay. So remember, present continuous tense is used to describe an action that is happening at the time of reference. The first use. Second thing, when can we use this present continuous tense? To refer to an action that will happen in the future. And the third rule could be, it is used to describe an action that has begun some times ago and is still continuing till the time of reference. Till the time of reference. So, when you have questions with these kind of tenses there, you can easily imagine. Let me show you the example also. See, if you are asked to fill in the blanks with the present continuous tense. See, for example, we dash. So you have the verb here, learn. Let me change the verb so that it will be easy for you. Expect. See, expect. See, let's say expect. Our teacher. Say, our teacher this evening. This evening. So let me say that this is you are referring to the sentence in the morning or in the afternoon. Because you must understand it very clearly. So I have written here this evening. Now you are supposed to fill this blank with appropriate tense form or form of the tense. So can you write, we expect our teacher this evening? You can, but then the meaning is not 100% clear. So, see now, we are expecting. See, we are expecting. To refer to action that is going to happen in the future. To refer to action that will happen in the future. So you are supposed to fill this with a present continuous tense, are expecting. Why we are using are here? Because your subject is we. If your subject is I, you can say am. You get what I mean here? So this is how you should be able to understand the meaning of the even sentences that are given in filling in the blanks and identifying to fill in the blanks with the appropriate forms of tense with regard to verbs. Okay? That's it. So this is, as I have mentioned to you earlier, I will stop with every tense in the video so that you can understand it easily. So today I will stop with this, and as a conclusion what I would like to remind you, we have dealt with the present continuous tense, and it is used to describe an action that is happening at the time of reference. It is used to describe an action that will happen in the future. It is used to describe an action that has begun some times ago and still it is continuing. So these are three different occasions for which you can use the present continuous tense in English. Is that clear, guys? Okay, good. So before I conclude this video, as usual, my humble request is subscribe my channel English Easy Louis. Click the bell icon so that you will watch the videos as immediately as possible. Every day I am coming with new ideas, and if you could look at my examples, my examples are very practical. So I am not taking examples from somewhere else. So it will be very easy for you to understand. So therefore, subscribe my channel, make use of this opportunity, improve your grammar, standard of grammar in English, and try to understand it better, to speak in English also fluently, both in speaking as well as in writing. We'll slowly try to be perfect in our endeavors, in our efforts. Okay guys, see you in the next video. Until then, it's your teacher Louis Das from English Easy channel. Thank you. Bye.